In the world of classic automobiles, there are certain cars that are not merely modes of transportation but also symbols of an era. These vehicles embody design as an art form, showcase technology ahead of their time, and possess an emotional appeal that never fades. One of the finest examples in this category is the 1938 Buick Special Series 40 sedan. This car was not just a luxurious pre-war sedan, but also a true expression of Buick's philosophy in the 1930s, to create a vehicle that balanced style, comfort, and engineering innovation. During a decade marked by economic hardship, the American auto industry was struggling to recover from the devastating effects of the Great Depression. Yet, in the midst of this turmoil, Buick managed to produce automobiles that stood out for both their design and technology. Known as a mid-to-upper-class marque under General Motors, Buick earned its reputation as a brand offering attainable luxury. Positioned above Chevrolet and Pontiac, yet below Cadillac, it offered refinement without the extravagant price tag. Within Buick's lineup, the Series 40 Special emerged as the most popular model, providing the perfect combination of price, performance, and style. Today, more than 8 decades since its introduction, the 1938 Buick Special Series 40 sedan endures as a shining testament to pre-war automotive design. With its elegant burgundy exterior, warm beige interior, and signature Buick inline-eight engine, it is a true jewel for collectors and enthusiasts alike. To understand the importance of the 1938 Buick Special, one must first look at the historical backdrop in which it was created. The 1930s were a difficult time. The United States had been shaken by the Great Depression of 1929, leaving millions unemployed and drastically reducing consumer purchasing power. The auto industry, which had boomed during the 1920s, suffered severe setbacks. Car sales plummeted, small manufacturers went bankrupt, and even giants like Ford, GM, and Chrysler had to innovate simply to survive. Buick, as a division of General Motors, recognized that survival required technical innovation and appealing design. Instead of competing solely on price, Buick focused on maintaining its identity as a premium brand, offering higher quality while still being accessible to the middle and upper middle classes. In 1938, Buick introduced a new generation of the Special Series 40. It was widely praised for offering independent front suspension, a more streamlined design, and the smooth, powerful inline-eight engine. One of the defining qualities of the 1938 Buick Special Series 40 sedan was its styling language. Finished in a rich and deep burgundy paint, the sedan projected an aura of elegance and authority. The choice of color was not only aesthetic but also reflective of upper-class tastes at the time. Dark hues symbolized sophistication and luxury. Its body lines were quintessentially pre-war. Large rounded fenders, an elongated hood, and a gracefully sloping roofline that flowed into the rear. The design conveyed both balance and artistry, combining robust proportions with delicate details. At the front, a large vertical chrome grille dominated the face, reinforcing Buick's premium status. Chrome accents extended around the windows, bumpers, and side moldings, providing a sparkling contrast to the burgundy finish. Such details exemplified Buick's dedication to craftsmanship. The car rode on classic whitewall tires, a hallmark of luxury during the 1930s, paired with steel wheels capped by chrome hubcaps. At the rear, a mounted spare tire added both authenticity and practicality. Stepping into the cabin feels like entering a world far removed from modern automobiles. The beige interior created a warm, inviting atmosphere while exuding understated elegance. The seats were upholstered in high-quality fabric, providing plush comfort for long journeys. The dashboard, though simple, carried immense character, fitted with circular gauges for speed, oil pressure, engine temperature, and fuel level. Wood grain trim adorned the dashboard and door panels, adding to the luxury feel. while the large three-spoke steering wheel embodied pre-war driving style. There were no digital screens or excess buttons. Everything was mechanical, purposeful, and authentic. Generous dimensions gave the cabin an airy feel. Rear passengers especially enjoyed ample legroom, making the Special Series 40 ideal for middle-class families aspiring to luxury travel during its time. Under its long hood, the 1938 Buick Special Series 40 housed a 248 cubic inch inline-eight engine. This power plant was celebrated for its smoothness, reliability, and refinement. Producing around 107 horsepower at 3,600 RPM, it was paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. Drivers had to master the traditional gear shifting pattern, which offered a distinctly vintage driving experience. A highlight of the 1938 Buick was its independent front suspension with coil springs, a rarity at the time. While many cars still used rigid axles, Buick suspension provided a significantly more comfortable ride. Combined with a solid rear axle and leaf springs, it struck a balance between comfort and durability. Braking came via drum brakes on all 4 wheels, standard for the era. Though not as powerful as modern disc brakes, they were adequate for 1930s traffic conditions. Driving a 1938 Buick Special is not about speed or razor-sharp handling. Instead, it is about savoring the experience. When the inline-eight comes to life, it emits a refined, deep hum, like a classic symphony in motion. Behind the wheel, drivers encounter slower responses compared to modern cars, but every interaction is full of character. Gear shifts feel mechanical and deliberate, while steering delivers the heavy feedback of a large pre-power steering automobile. And that is precisely where the charm lies. This is a car that fosters a genuine connection between driver and machine, a nostalgic reminder of how motoring once felt. For collectors, the 1938 Buick Special Series 40 sedan is a prized possession. Not only is it rare, but it also tells a powerful story of pre-war America. Because many pre-war vehicles did not survive World War II, finding a well-preserved example is a stroke of luck. Cars like this become showstoppers at classic car exhibitions, museum displays, and vintage parades. The emotional value is equally significant. For older generations, the Buick Special may evoke childhood memories or family stories. For younger enthusiasts, it serves as a living reminder of an age when cars were built with artistry and mechanical purity. The 1938 Buick Special was not merely an engineering product, it was also a cultural symbol of America on the eve of World War II. It represented the optimism of a society slowly recovering from economic depression and striving toward modernity. It also showcased how the U.S. auto industry was a pioneer, technologically with innovations like independent suspension, and aesthetically with streamlined chrome-heavy styling. For automotive enthusiasts and historians alike, the Buick Special is both a machine and a cultural artifact. Beyond its 248 cubic inch inline-eight, the 1938 Buick Special was notable for using Buick's signature valve-in head design, OHV, a departure from the flathead engines common at the time. This provided better airflow, improved combustion, and smoother power delivery. With a 122-inch wheelbase and an overall length exceeding 5 meters, the Special was a large sedan by any measure. Weighing about 1,700 kilograms, it felt substantial on the road, delivering stability as well as interior space. Such engineering details cemented its reputation as both advanced and dependable. Owning a pre-war automobile like the Buick Special requires dedication. Restoring one is both a challenge and a labor of love. The biggest hurdles often involve sourcing engine parts for the inline-eight, which are no longer produced. Fortunately, Buick's GM heritage and an active network of collectors help keep parts accessible. The fabric upholstery and wood grain trim often demand specialized craftsmanship to maintain authenticity. Likewise, achieving the exact burgundy paint finish requires careful restoration to match the original 1930s tone. For collectors, restoration is not only about functionality but also about preserving history. Every screw, emblem, and dashboard gauge carries significance, and in the classic car market, pre-war vehicles occupy a unique niche. Not everyone seeks them, but for those passionate about automotive history, they are invaluable. Originality is the single most important factor. Cars that retain their original engine, interior, and period-correct details command significantly higher value. Ownership history also adds to desirability, especially if the car has remained in the same family for generations. In recent years, there has been growing interest in pre-war automobiles. With muscle cars and 1960s, 70s classics becoming more common, collectors increasingly appreciate the rarity and historical depth of vehicles like the Buick Special. Another reason for the 1938 Buick Special's importance is its timing. Produced just 3 years before America's entry into World War II, it represents one of the last generations of civilian automobiles before factories were converted to military production. This fact alone makes the car historically significant. It was one of the final expressions of pre-war design and optimism before the global conflict reshaped the world. For modern collectors, owning a 1938 Buick Special is not just about investment. It is a lifestyle. Picture it at a classic parade. The gleaming burgundy paint, the white wall tires, the smooth hum of the inline-eight. Crowds gather, point, and ask questions. For some, it sparks personal memories. For others, it is pure admiration of a bygone era on the road. The Buick Special offers a slower, more mindful driving experience. A reminder that sometimes the journey itself is the reward. In Buick's long history, the Series 40 Special was always one of its most important models. It formed the backbone of Buick's sales during the 1930s, bridging affordability with the prestige and comfort that define the brand. Buick's famous slogan, "When better automobiles are built, Buick will build them," was brought to life in the 1938 Special Series 40. The 1938 Buick Special Series 40 sedan is far more than just a vintage automobile. It is a symbol of pre-war elegance, Buick engineering innovation, and the timeless allure of American design. With its graceful burgundy exterior, warm beige cabin, smooth inline-eight engine, and authentic pre-war details, it represents the very best of 1930s automotive craftsmanship. For collectors, it is a valuable investment. For enthusiasts, it is a nostalgic driving experience. And for historians, it is a living artifact of an era when cars were created with artistry, spirit, and hope.